Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some r/butthole. And if you love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's dive into today's first story. And of course, this story does come with an update, and it's from The Omelette, who says, am I the arsehole for refusing to make any more meals for my girlfriend after she kept complaining about my cooking? Things have been great with my girlfriend for the most part. We, 28 female and 26 male, have been together for 4 years and living together for 2. Lately there's been some tension, so I feel maybe that's why things may have boiled over. Was that a cooking pun? We both work a lot, so we have been very cranky and moody. Especially my girlfriend, who's snapped at me a few times and been in a really bad mood. For the past few days, what's really setting her off is my cooking. I'm usually the one making breakfast, packing our lunches, and dinner. Literally any time I've been at the stove, she complains about how bad the smell is and gives me crap about using stuff that obviously has gone bad according to her, or saying it tastes like shit, won't even finish eating. This has pissed me off. I'm not a chef, but I do pride myself in my cooking, and she's talking about how bad my food is. I've had my co-workers try my lunch and they tell me it tastes just fine. I figured with all the stress she's under at work, she probably needed an outlet to let out her frustration, and maybe that's why she's giving me shit about simple things. I don't know, but I snapped at her this morning when she complained about the omelette I was making us. So I actually dumped the eggs in the trash, told her she can make her own damn breakfast for herself then, and I'm not cooking for her anymore. She's gonna keep acting spoiled about what I make. We ended up having an argument over this and we left for work mad. Anyways, my girlfriend didn't come home and her sister called me. My girlfriend's mad at me and her sister thought I was being a dick for reacting so immaturely by refusing to cook for her anymore. When I know she works a lot, so sometimes she doesn't have the time to prep her own meals. I don't know why this was turned into but here I am, sitting at home, wondering if I was being an asshole for losing my cool and telling her I'm not cooking for her. Just didn't think it's fair for her to be talking shit about my cooking, when she never has before, and thought, well, if she doesn't like it, she can take over the kitchen. Was I an asshole? Now, unfortunately, I already caught a sneak peek of what's going on, so I can't give an opinion without, giving away the update, basically. But part of me, whilst I was reading this, was thinking, well, if you don't like his cooking, you can make it yourself. And I'm just going down the stress at work part, if she was stressed at work, yes, you can support your partner, but she can't keep taking it out on you like that because it's just not fair. And I can't blame you for feeling the way you did when you're cooking her these meals and then having it basically thrown in your face. It's not fair to you, it doesn't feel great, and it's an arsehole move in my opinion. But now we're going to cover some of those comments to see what they say before we go into the update. So Snowfallen Mountain says info and then quotes a section saying she complains about how bad the smell is and gives me crap about using stuff that has obviously gone bad according to her, or saying it tastes like shit, won't even finish eating. And then goes on to say, are you sure she's not pregnant? And OP responded saying, I did not think about that honestly. Chaotic Neutral Proud says not the arsehole, just a thought, but my wife's sense of smell became mega acute when she fell pregnant. Any chance? And Ronna says, if she has time to complain and give you shit about the food you make for her, then she has time to cook her food. You snapping was a natural reaction to the constant unwarranted and helpful negative comments from your girlfriend, so I won't call you an arsehole for that. Let her cool down and calmly discuss things. Put a boundary that if she doesn't like your food, then she can either cook her own meals or order out. Not the arsehole. So now we're going to move on to the update to see what happened next. Update. Well shit. This is way too many responses for me. Most of it pointing out some obvious shit that didn't even hit me until y'all mentioned it. It was super late when I posted this and I was going to wait until morning to talk to her. I'd missed a call from my girlfriend, so I called her back. Totally different tune this time. My girlfriend was really apologetic about the way she was acting and didn't realize how much of a bitch she was being. Her words, not mine, I swear. Until she talked more with her sister. Apparently, her sis didn't have the full details of the fight. My girlfriend was just extremely upset, and while she told her what we thought about, I guess the state my girlfriend was in at the moment made her think the fight was a lot bigger than it actually was. Hence her reaction. She didn't know this was going on for days until they talked about it last night. Even her sister was like, seriously? Yeah, that helped her see how shitty she was being towards me. Her sister also apologized to me, by the way. I said my piece to her. It wasn't cool being used as a punching bag, and I don't deserve that kind of disrespect from her. Especially when I'm cooking meals for both of us. My girlfriend was really understanding of that, and we both agreed to talk shit out instead of letting it boil up to the point where we both were snapping at each other. Okay, so getting back to what everyone's been wanting to hear. My girlfriend got home and I decided to bring up her issues with the smell thing, praying to God she wouldn't rip my head off for implying she was only mad because hormones. Her reaction was priceless though, because clearly she didn't think about that either. So we took a quick trip to CVS and got us a couple of tests just to be sure. We came home and yep, they're positive. Holy fuck, I can't believe you guys were right about that. I'm feeling like a bit of a dumbass for not knowing that, lol. But anyways, yeah, we're pregnant and freaked out and super excited. My girl for sure cried, and okay, me too a little bit. She's calling her doctor to make an appointment though, just to be sure, but yeah, for now, looks like we got a little squish on the way, and I can't stop thinking about it. It's too crazy. I know lots of you keep asking, so there's your update. This has been a fucking roller coaster. Edit. Sent my girlfriend my post. She thanks everyone for pointing out the obvious and how bad her behavior was towards me. Anyways, she says you're all invited to the baby shower, lol. And then there was just lots more comments on there from saying, congratulations for one. Yeah, congratulations from me as well. But then more people sharing about their pregnancy stories and, how it changed them, how it changed their sense of smell, their sense of taste. And it's just wild, isn't it? What you go through whilst pregnant. Absolute madness. But a cheeky little positive ending to that story there. Let me know your thoughts on this story in the comments below, and we'll move on to the next story. And I know our next story is a day late of Valentine's Day, but it's from Love Struck Throwaway, who asks, is my supervisor 28 female attracted to me 28 male, or am I overthinking or reading it wrong? Wishful thinking. With an update, of course. So at the beginning of this school year, I started a new internship for my master's degree. I'm not going to say in what or what specifically my internship is, as to keep it as vague as possible to protect us. My supervisor is a woman I'll call Alyssa. I'll admit, I got a crush on her from the beginning of the internship. She's gorgeous, I mean, like as beautiful as any model on Instagram. And she's genuinely kind, funny, and just awesome to be around. We hit it off immediately, both on a professional and personal level. Now, I didn't even entertain the thought that our relationship was going to be anything except professional and friendly. Alyssa had a boyfriend, and quite obviously she can't date a subordinate, much less an intern. Plus, even barring that, don't shit where you eat, right? I figured I'd just admire her quietly, enjoy the relationship we did have, and let it go. There's other women out there. Well, after about a month and a half at the internship, I noticed that Alyssa was a bit withdrawn. She was still friendly and nothing changed towards me. She was still very encouraging and positive in helping me in my job, but she was less chatty and seemed sad. One day during our one-on-one weekly review, when she seemed especially on edge, I asked her what was wrong, and she said she was going through a hard time because she and her boyfriend had broken up a few weeks earlier and she was having trouble getting over it. Then she apologized if I felt she was being cold or neglectful and that she didn't mean for her personal life to creep into work. I told her don't be, and don't act like you're not allowed to have emotions over that. I told her about my own breakup from my last girlfriend 2 years ago, and how I was devastated to find out she cheated, and how I was still hurt and also frustrated that I hadn't found anyone else. So we started talking about the pain of breakups and stuff, and that led to other personal conversations. We ended up staying almost 30 minutes after the office closed to talk before I realized I should get home. That evening, she sent me a text to remind me to bring in some paperwork when I came in the next week, and also said, thanks for staying late to talk, I really needed it, and it sounds like you did too. With a little smiley face. Cheeky. After that, our weekly meetings routinely went way over our scheduled time as we mixed a lot of business and personal talk. Alyssa also started seeming happier, both in our meetings and in general. Anytime she sees me, she gets a big smile when she greets me, and I do too. One day, at the end of the day, we ended up standing in the parking lot by our cars and talking for an hour about anything that came to mind. I'll admit, I started and continue to think about Alyssa all the time. I still realized that it wasn't going to go anywhere, but it's hard to fight a crush. Then we had staff Christmas dinner at a restaurant last week. It was Alyssa, her boss, Jess, and the other 9 people from our office, and me, the intern. We were all sitting at the table. Alyssa was sitting next to me. One of the restaurant staff was coming around to different tables where he spotted couples and holding up mistletoe between them and encouraging them to kiss. It was cute. By this point, most of us had at least 2 drinks, and then the guy came up, and apparently Alyssa and I must have been sitting somewhat close, and the way we were talking must have suggested we were together, because the guy held the mistletoe between us. Alyssa smiled, and I just said, no, we're not together. She's actually my supervisor, and I joked this would be an HR nightmare. And then the guy with the mistletoe jokingly asked if anyone was from HR, and then said, come on, nobody from HR is here, enjoy the season. I said, I don't know. Then Jess, who was really cool, laid back, and was also 2 drinks in, said, "Oh, just do it. Nobody's going to say anything." So I looked at Alyssa, she's smiling really big, I shrug, and then I lean in and we kiss. The thing is, it wasn't just a quick, joking peck on the lips. I mean, we didn't make out or anything, but the kiss lasted about 3 seconds. And she put her hand behind my head and pulled me in when we did it, and it was just soft and loving, I guess. And when we were done, she just looked like she was so happy she could almost cry. Then Jess said, "Okay, none of this leaves the table," and everyone laughed. And then the rest of the night, we just kept looking over at each other, giving smiles. Needless to say, even though I knew this wasn't going anywhere, I was on cloud 9 and I could barely sleep that night. So, we went back into work today and nothing changed too much. Alyssa and I still had our long talks and stuff. We briefly talked about the dinner and just said it was fun, and yeah, we danced around the kiss. I mean, when we kissed, I guess it was kind of a joke, and we both had a couple of drinks, so our emotions were probably a bit enhanced. And of course, I'm lonely, she's 2 months past a breakup, so maybe our decision-making abilities are not running on all cylinders. So I don't know if I'm reading this right. I guess the question is she actually attracted to me, or is she just being friendly? Also, I don't want to hurt her job, or wreck my internship, but is this something I should ask her about and sit down and discuss? And there's only a couple of comments on this post before we get to the update, so we'll cover them straight away. One from Blueberry Love, who says, "It is actually illegal for your boss to date you. She can go to prison. It's called sexual harassment. Don't do it if you truly care about her. You will realize that she could get into serious trouble, even lose everything if she gets caught. Stop listening to your genitals and start thinking with your brain. The fact that you're actually considering this is outrageously inappropriate." Wasn't expecting that comment, and OP did reply to it, but it gives away a part of the update, so I won't cover that just yet. Sugar Booger says, "You can probably just ask her off hours about the kiss thing in a joking way. Just be like, hey, was that a friendly kiss or did it have some heat behind it? And see how it goes from there. Seems there is attraction between the two. And honestly, if it's not, you don't need to worry about HR anyways, just if things get weird." Papa Bear says, "To be honest, it sounds pretty positive. Maybe time to ask her for some one-on-one time outside of work hours, catch up for a drink or something. That all said, some say it's wise to not shit where you eat." OP did reply to that one saying true, but the internship only lasts till April. I'll probably try to find out for sure if there's something between us and then talk about what will happen after my internship ends. Maggie Louisa says, "I think she does like you, and I also think it would be a terrible idea to get involved with her. She's your supervisor. Back off. Tell her straight out that you really like her, but you need to keep things professional. And if you both feel the same, when your internship is over, then you'll ask her out." Fascination Street says, and quotes, "I started a new internship for my master's degree. I'm not going to say in what or what specifically my internship is, as to keep it as vague as possible." And then says, "Nobody gives a shit, dude. The bottom line is that you don't date people you work with. You don't date people, particularly when you're on an internship for your master's degree. What the fuck?" So now we're going to move on to the update to see what happened next. I'll start by saying that I do not recommend doing what I did. Stuff like this normally doesn't end well, but somehow it did for me and her. So it's been about 2 months since my last post about my supervisor, Alyssa, and I. To cut a long story about the first post short, I'm an intern at a company and Alyssa was my supervisor. We started becoming attracted to each other. At a Christmas dinner we kissed under the mistletoe with the approval of a supervisor. The kiss was treated just like a friendly thing by everyone there, but for Alyssa and I, there were definitely feelings there. We knew we shouldn't be together given her being my supervisor. But of course, we did a dumb thing, and the next week after work, we ended up staying late to talk, and I asked her if she wanted to get dinner, and she accepted. After dinner, as I was dropping her off at home, she mentioned the kiss at the Christmas dinner and how she enjoyed it. I went for it and asked if I could kiss her again, and she said yes, and so we ended up making out for a while and confessing how much we liked each other. She said she wanted to be with me, and I said I wanted to be with her too. But I knew we couldn't because of our work relationship. Alyssa said that we already crossed the Rubicon by what we're doing here. But if I wanted to wait or was uncomfortable with doing anything further, she understood. Again, against better judgment, I decided I wanted to be with her too much. So we decided to start dating, but quietly. We mostly met up for dates away from places where people would know us, or we would hang out at each other's apartments. I'm in an in-law apartment above my parents' garage while I'm in school, and they don't usually bother me. And she lives with her sister, who Alyssa told about me, and she trusts her sister to keep the secret. Alyssa's supervisor, Jess, I think kinda knew something was up and looked the other way because she and Alyssa are close friends and Jess really likes me as well. Alyssa and I never discussed anything pertaining to our relationship when we were at work together. We talked shop and non-business related conversations not related to us. Even behind closed doors, we just wanted to be as careful as we could be. About a month ago, Alyssa gave me some troubling news. There was a desperate need to fill a management vacancy at the office in a different state about 10 hours away. The way this organization works is that if they don't get applicants to certain positions, either internally or externally, they'll force employee transfers. Since that management position required Alyssa's credentials, they weren't getting any qualified applicants, and she was at the top of the force list. She was warned that she would likely be transferred at the end of the month. We were both devastated. I suggested a LDR, and she said maybe. But what's the point unless I'm planning on moving there after I graduate? Would I really want to do that with our relationship only being a month old? Well, the story ends happily. About a week and a half after she got this ultimatum, she got a job offer from another agency the next town over from where we work now, and in the town where she and I live. She puts in her 2 weeks immediately, and she started the job last week. It's better pay, better hours, and she's staying here. I'll tell you, we'd been taking the relationship slow because we really wanted to make it work. But the night after she found out about the job offer, we were so happy we couldn't hold back. And we ended up having sex for the first time in our relationship, and many times since. Well, she checks off all of my boxes. Beautiful, kind, honest, same values and beliefs. Great platonic connection, great romantic connection, and now I know we have a great physical connection. Last night over Valentine's Day dinner, we told each other we loved each other. On top of all this, since we're no longer working together, we can be open about our relationship now. Everybody knows that we're together now, and it's funny, I keep hearing the same thing. I'm happy for you guys. Everybody said you two would make a great couple if you weren't working together. Nobody has any proof that we were in a relationship before she left. Plus, Jess hinted to us that if anyone from HR tried to make something out of it, she'd cover us. So everything is great. I'm with the woman I love. We didn't have to worry about workplace drama, and I'm almost done with my grad program, and I have job offers in the pipeline from other agencies. So anyway, that's my happy news for today. One part of that update, and I know it's a bit unrelated to the actual story itself, but like forcing an employee to move to another job, is that really possible? I mean, what if they refuse? Do they get sacked? And is this just something that's written into their contracts? I find that absolutely insane. And I give you an overview of the comments on this post. Some people, saying congratulations, lovely story, lovely update. Other people saying, yes, his first line was absolutely correct. Never have a workplace relationship like this. Some people saying, Jess was the absolute legend in this story. And just quite a few people saying, this could have ended in absolute disaster. But what do you guys make of this one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for spending 20 to 30 minutes with me today, getting involved with the channel. Your love, time, and support is always amazing. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay.